I started applying for international scholarships in 2019, shortly after my NYC completion. The first application I made was for the Shivning Scholarship. I can remember vividly the night I got my feedback from the awarding body. I was so scared. My hands were shaking. God, please, let me get the scholarship. God, please, let it be good news. I was shaking. It was just a few minutes in my bed. I was about to sleep. So I opened the mail, and lo and behold, it was a rejection mail. I cried my eyes out. I felt so bad. What made it even more painful was the fact that I had to save up 75,000 naira for my monthly allowance then as an NYC copper just to be able to write the IELTS exams. And before I could write the IELTS exams, I needed my passport, my international passport. That one too took me another 4 months to get because it was just so stressful. I keep visiting the immigration office and they keep telling me, Kosi booklet, meaning no booklet. Come back tomorrow. Come back next tomorrow. We don't know when it's going to be available. I was so scared that I wasn't able to meet up with the deadline. So after going through all that stress, only for me to be served breakfast, I felt so bad. I cried. I could not sleep that night. The following morning, when people were asking me, what was wrong with you? I could not tell them. I was so embarrassed to tell them that I cried because I got rejected from a scholarship application. The following year, I applied again. I reapplied for the Shivning Scholarship. This time around, I tried to review my CV, my motivational letter. I tried to review it and revise it, and I submitted the application. Did I get it? No. That was the beginning of my rejections. Because after that, I applied for other scholarships. I applied for the MasterCard Foundation. I applied for Mandela Rhodes. I applied for Commonwealth Scholarship. I applied for even to some universities. Some were even kind enough to offer me 50% off my tuition fee. But where on earth am I supposed to get the remaining 50%? So that was how I kept on applying and getting rejected from 2019 up to 2022. So 2021 September, a friend of mine, Noah, told me about the Erasmus Mundus scholarship and encouraged me to apply. So I read through the eligibility requirement and everything, and I gave it a shot just once, and thankfully I got it. So if you would agree with me, I would say that one of the major challenge as young adults that we are most likely going to face is rejections. Which are those of us who are still trying to figure out our lives, trying to figure out our career paths and things like that. There are chances that we'll face some sort of rejections. And rejections will come in different forms. For some people, it could be job related. You're applying for a job and you keep getting rejected. For some people, it could even be business proposal. You have this beautiful business idea that you've put all your hard work into, and each time you try to submit for funding, you keep getting rejected. For some, it could be visa applications. I've had my fair share of that too. I got rejected once from a visa application, so I know how devastating that could feel. For some people, it could even be in terms of relationships. I've had stories of people who try to propose to their partner and they get rejected. There are people who after a while, they just stop being friends with each other, they get rejected. So rejections are bound to happen. Sadly, that is part of life. But the question now is, how do we handle these rejections in such a way that it does not affect our mental well-being? Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bukola. For those who are just joining for the first time, I am a psychotherapist and your online cheerleader. And on this platform, we share updates relating to optimal mental well-being. I share tips as well as a touch of travel content, lifestyle, and my Erasmus journey. So if this is something that resonates with you, do make sure you subscribe and let's connect. For my returning subscribers, my G's, how far? How na day? How are things over there? How is this adulthood life for real? And by now, I'm sure you must be wondering, why is Bukola holding a pencil? Why is she in front of a laptop? Why is she holding all of these things? Yes, and that is because I saw this image online which kind of captures what we'll be talking about in this video. I saw this image online, and all that I could just think about is just freedom and hope for brighter days, even though we might be tied down right now with some form of rejections or the other. But there's always hope that at the end of the day, we'll scale through and we'll get that bright, that future that we've always anticipate about. Mind you, I am not a professional artist, so plus reduce your expectation. Don't be sweating away with all of this. Yeah, so I'll try my best to give it a trial. So back into the video, what we're talking about. I decided to call these concepts on how to manage rejections 5 R's. Okay, I'm not sure if I pronounced the word R correctly because when I was trying to like think about the concept for this video, I asked myself, do you really want to pronounce the word R in front of people? So if you laugh at me, I'm coming for you. Back to the video again. So talking about the 5 R's, this 5 R's is going to show us how we can manage rejection. And the first R stands for releasing your emotions. Being rejected isn't a pleasant feeling. It comes with different types of emotions. For some, it could be sadness, anger, frustration. So it would be so unfair for anyone to expect you not to feel bad about it because you are rejected. If you need to cry, please do. If you need to vent, to express yourself, please allow your emotions to flow. Because the danger we do when we don't allow ourselves to express our emotions is that we bottle up those emotions. And imagine you have a bottle of water and you keep on pouring water into that bottle. You get to a stage where the bottle can no longer contain the water and then it begins to overflow. And that's what happens with our emotions. When you bottle up your emotions, over time the body becomes overwhelmed. And even the tiniest little drop of water can just cause kasala. Do you get? So allow yourself to feel the emotions. If you need to talk to someone about the rejection that you faced, please do. In my previous video, I mentioned that I have a platform for those who want to rant for free. I'll put the link there to the previous video so that you can have details on how to have access to this platform. But in a nutshell, rejection is not something that is pleasant. It's not an happy situation, and you don't have to be the bigger person and say, I don't want to show that if you're pissed, you're pissed. If you're angry, you're angry. Allow yourself to express your emotions. The second R on the list is a 2-in-1, is to review and reflect. Sometimes after we've expressed our emotions and we've cried, we've ranted, it's always very important to take a step back to review and reflect on why did the rejection happen in the first place. This may not apply in all cases, but sometimes it's very helpful. So let me give an instance. Imagine you've been applying for jobs severally and you never even get to the interview stage before your application is being rejected. This could be a sign that you may need to review your CV. It could be a sign that you need to maybe brush up on your professional experience, But when you don't take your time to review those things, you might just feel like maybe you are just being rejected because the universe wants you to be rejected. Do you understand? So it's always very helpful for us to take a step back to review. I'll give an example. So when I got rejected from my visa application, and I was I felt really bad about it, but at the same time, I had to take my time to see on why did it happen. And luckily, I was given a feedback on why I was being rejected. So all I needed to do was just to add the additional document that I had, but I didn't add it to the application. So in that case, I was able to review on what I needed to have done. For some people, it could be in a relationship. So imagine you and someone you've been friends for a while, and you realize that this person is no longer interested in you, or you ask the person out, you guys have been friends for a very long time, and this person rejects you all of a sudden. I'm not saying that it's all cases that you might be the problem, but sometimes you might just need to review what was the cause of the problem. Identifying the cause of a problem is a major step towards addressing almost every type of problem that we face in life. So make sure you try to review on what was the problem, what could you have done better. And sometimes reviewing also helps us to understand better and make us not to be too hard on ourselves. Because I've seen situations where people apply for job roles and the opening just for one person or for two people, and you see about 1,200, 2,000 applications. So are you going to say that the remaining 900 plus people who didn't get the role are not qualified enough or they're not good enough? So sometimes it might not necessarily be that you're not good enough. It's just the circumstance surrounding that situation at that period. There are people that I spoke with some of my friends who recently moved to the UK, and I realized that sometimes it might not even be because you're not qualified, that's why you didn't get a job. Okay, it's a part of qualification if we get it in that sense. Because imagine a job role that tells you that we can't give you a job if you do not have a work visa. And this is you who have the academic background, you have the professional experience, but you don't have that visa that they're requesting for. How do you want to get the job? So it will be so unfair to you to apply for that role and you get rejected and you now feel that it's because you're not good enough. No, it's just because of the circumstance. There are some applications whereby it is has to do with maybe criteria. They might be focused more on having more female in a particular organization or more males. And if you're unfortunate to apply in that situation and you get rejected, you can be so quick to say maybe you were not good enough, but it's not because you were not good enough, but was because of the criteria of that application. I applied for the shift name twice and I got rejected. Back then, I felt so bad that, but I was good. I did my best. But then I realized that the shifting scholarship it focuses more on leadership, and my application was focused more on my professional experience. So I was talking more about what I have done in my professional experience rather than leadership roles that I have carried out. Do you get? So all of these things can play an important role in being rejected or not. So when we begin to revise and review all these things, we begin to pick out what could have been cause of being rejected. The next step is to re-strategize. There's a saying that when we keep on doing things in a certain way, chances that we'll get a different result is very low. So if you notice that you've been doing this particular, okay, for instance, if you notice that you've been applying for a particular role over and over and over again and you keep on getting rejected, you may have to take your time to maybe improve on yourself. You might need to get some skills, additional skills. You may need to get other qualifications that will help you to enhance your position to be able to get that role. If it is in terms of relationships and you've been in a relationship with someone for a while and all of a sudden the person just rejects you, or you've been friends with someone and after a while this person does not want to be around you, rather than just say, oh, it's okay. I tell people that whatever is capable of affecting our emotions, no matter how minute it is worth addressing. So instead of you just saying, okay, that's it, you might also want to strategize by taking a step further to find out what the problem is. If it is something you feel you both of you can work on, then you go for it. And if not, oh well and good. You get my point. The main point is that we don't just keep on ranting and just keeping to ourselves without trying to take a step further to address the situation. Sometimes you might need help from other people. You might need help from people who have done. If, for instance, if you are applying for a scholarship and you keep on getting rejected, you can reach out to someone who has gotten something similar in the past and let this person like review your work and give you some guidelines that might be helpful. The most important thing is to get something doing. And then the last R is for resilience, because giving up is not an option for you and I. And there are so many things we can do to help ourselves build resilience. The first thing is to have it in the back of our mind that we are not a failure. No matter how many times we get rejected, it still does not define who we are. It still does not define our future, if I can use that word. So it's very important while we're trying to navigate the challenges of being rejected to take care of ourselves. Self-care is very important. Do the things that makes you happy. Do the things that give you joy, so that you are not just locked up in your world and constantly thinking about how you've been rejected again. I have a friend that whenever he receives a rejection mail, immediately the message drops, it deletes it immediately. So that way it does not remind himself about being rejected. That can also work too. Most important thing is to take care of yourself, do the things that you enjoy, sleep well, eat well, engage with family and friends. You know, when you reach out to those people, and then you also get to hear other people's stories too, because you might think you are the only one experiencing rejections too. But when you get to talk to other people, you begin to hear from other people's success story, how they've been able to navigate their lives, their issues. And I used to tell myself one thing, that people that we look up to today as our celebrities, people that we celebrate today, they have reached some point in their lives where they've also had some received some no's. I mean, I listen to people's stories like Foga Akindele, for instance. I remember she mentioned something about after she finished university, how she started looking for roles, you know, and some of the roles were nothing to write home about. Some just for her to just nod or clap like this, and that was the only role that she was given. But if she had let those things make her to withdraw or to quit trying, who knows, we may never get to know her today. There are so many people like that. Even our former President Buhari, I remember a story where he told us that he applied to be the president of Nigeria, I think 3 times before he finally got it. Imagine if he had quit on the second time. So the most important thing is that always remind yourself that giving up is not an option. Yes, you can take time off to relax. You can take time off any form of application. You can take time off to just reset and strategize and rant and everything. But at the end of the day, you still come back, and you come back stronger. So, guys, are you ready to see the final result? Drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. Ta-da! So, if you had to grade me over 10, what score will you give me? So, like I said at the beginning of this video, I chose this particular image because it kind of symbolizes hope for brighter days. That despite whatever it is we might be going through right now, whatever the form of rejection we might be experiencing at the moment, that sort of tie our hands from reaching our goals. Someday soon, we are going to break through, and we're going to achieve everything that we've always set our hearts to. But till then, don't lose hope, don't lose faith, and don't lose courage in doing what you love so much. If you would like to draw this image, let me know. I will put the link in the description. So tag me your videos. I'd like to see what you what you do. So guys, I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification to get notified when I upload my next video. Till then, I wish you all the best. Be good. Bye.